the place of the biggest, the best, the fastest, the craziest, the most outrageous. This ties into nearly every aspect of our lives, and that's not apart from our end-of-the-world addiction. It seems that we are constantly bombarded with these end-of-the-world predictions, knowing the date and the time of when the world is going to end. Today we're going to be taking a look at why predicting the end of the world is foolish, why it's an unhealthy, unnecessary, untrustworthy addition to an already chaotic world. So we're going to be taking a look at why prophecies are unreliable, how they have failed in the past, how this failure continues today with the Mayan calendar, and then we're going to open it up for a little discussion at the end. So, first, let's take a look at why prophecies are merely guesses. They're just a shot in the dark at when the world is going to end. So, this graph gives a general indication of the number of prophecies that have occurred in recent years. So, we can see that it starts at 0 back in year 0, and now it has increased to too many to count in recent years. We've just had a great influx in the number of predictions that people have been making for the end of the world. Now, many of these people who claim to be making these predictions claim to be Christians. They claim to be prophets. Now, are they really Christians or are they heretics? According to the Bible, this is all biblical nonsense. There are two passages that I'd like to look at, Matthew 24:36 and Acts 1:7. Now, Matthew says, "No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." And that's referring to the end of the world and the apocalyptic times that will occur, according to the Bible. Acts 1:7 says something similar. He said to them, "It is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set, but his own authority." So it's the same idea. Are these people really Christians, or are they just ignoring these passages? What are they doing? Because biblically, this is a very heinous idea. So, why do people make these predictions then? I like to call them fear-inducing, crowd-controlling, supernatural, prophetic, government, conspiracy nonsense. Now, these people are making all of these claims, but what are they actually trying to do? There's two ideas that I came up with. One of them is controlling by inducing fear. Now, the number one fear of people is death. So, if you claim that the end of the world is coming and everybody is going to die, everybody becomes fearful. The next idea is rallying to support ulterior motives. Now, if you get these people together and you have these ulterior motives, but these people are listening to every word that you say, you're going to achieve your motives. So, if we look at some of the people lately who have made these predictions, we can look at one in particular, Harold Camping, who made a prediction for May of this year. And now Harold Camping raised millions of dollars for his campaign. So, is he really predicting the end of the world, or is he merely trying to put money in his pocket? So, now that we've taken a look at why people make these predictions and why these predictions are oftentimes faulty, let's take a look at some of the failed proposals. Jim Jones is the first one we're going to take a look at, and he started the People's Temple. He predicted that a doomsday would occur in November of 1978. Now, he got an entire group of people together, and as most people know, the story goes that eventually they thought the doomsday was going to come, and they all drank tainted Kool-Aid that ended up leading to 909 deaths, 303 of which were children. Now, was Jim Jones really trying to predict the end of the world? Did he believe what he was saying, or was he merely causing a great tragedy among our country and among our world? Next, let's take a look at Y2K. Y2K was another failed idea of doomsday. Now, the idea was that computers were going to crash on the moment that we turn to the new millennium, and this is going to lead to widespread chaos because of our ever-dependent world on computers. Now, as we all know, we're in the year 2011, and that didn't really happen. We didn't really see many big, huge changes or anything come crazy out of that time. So, Y2K, another failed idea. Next, let's take a look at Harold Camping. Now, Harold Camping was a Christian, so we can tie that back to some of the ideas of, does he really know what he's talking about? Now, Harold Camping made a prediction in mid-September 1994. That was when he believed that doomsday was going to occur. He was 99% certain, he said, that his math was correct, that the world was going to end when he said it would. Needless to say, 1995 rolled around and nothing happened. Oh, but wait, Harold Camping comes around again in 1995. He claims that March 31st, 1995 is the day that it's going to end. He was wrong. He did some of his calculations wrong, and needless to say, the rest of the world came along in 1996, 1997, and he was wrong again. But wait, a third time. Harold Camping comes around a third time, and after his 1995 failed prediction, he said that it didn't bother him in the slightest. And so he makes a prediction for May 21st, 2011, and once again, another failed prediction. I'm pretty sure he's working on another prediction, but who knows. So, next let's take a look at December 21st, 2012, the recent crazy idea that's come up that the Mayan calendar predicts the end of the world. Now, there are numerous ideas that are associated with the end of the world according to the Mayans. We believe in the breaking up of the continents, the alignment of the solar system, and the collision with Planet X, or Nibiru. So, if we look at the breaking up of the continents, scientists have disproven many of these ideas. One of the ideas is the breaking up of the continents, and this is a heinous idea. It would take millions of years for all of these continents to come together and collide. It wouldn't happen merely in a day. Next, we'll take a look at the alignment of the solar system. Scientists say that this is actually an annual astronomical occurrence that occurs at the winter solstice. So, most of these planets are going to line up like they always do every year. Finally, we have our collision with Planet X. There's actually no proof that this planet actually exists or is in line to collide with our planet. This idea was actually popularized by a woman for a 2003 doomsday prediction. So, another just kind of crazy idea. So, what is the Mayan calendar actually saying then? So, the Mayan calendar does predict an end-of-the-world scenario. It's outlined on the final page of the Dresden Code, circa 1100. It describes a flood, but it has no date. There is no date, according to the Mayans, that the world is going to end. According to Anthony Arany, the whole timekeeping scale is very past-directed and not future-directed. So this idea that the Mayans actually predicted the end of the world is kind of a crazy idea. So let's go ahead and take a little discussion. So who all has heard of an end-of-the-world prediction? Who all has heard one? Yeah, pretty much everybody. So what do you guys think about end-of-the-world predictions? Yeah.
I think it's a way, like, when you say that the end of the world is coming, what is everyone going to do? They're going to buy a whole bunch of stuff to protect themselves or whatnot, if they really could. I think it's just a way to stimulate the economy, really.
Exactly.
If you put it out there, oh my God, I need to buy a whole bunch of crap that I'll never use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
Like with the Y2K thing, I think it's kind of dumb because on the East Coast, it's going to be January 1st at a different time than it is on the West Coast. So it's like, how do you know what time zone? Like, do they say what time zone it's going to happen in? Like, it's just saying that it's going to end at a certain time when it's a different time everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Y2K thing is more just because the clocks on the computer, they hadn't really set them past like the year 2000, so it's just kind of more like they're worried about the computers crashing and not being able to like update.
Yeah. Do you guys think that these predictions have any sort of, are merely social deterrents, or do they have any positive aspects? Yeah.
I think people actually think that they can actually predict the day the world is going to end. By that, we're telling people, okay, if you're doing something bad, you got to get your way straight. You know, you got to be a Christian, or you got to stop doing whatever you do that is bad. So I think that's why people try to do this. Even though some people don't read the Bible, they don't really know what the Bible says, so people are afraid. So, oh, I'm a bad person, I got to start doing this stuff because the world's going to end.
Yeah.
You can look at that.
Yeah. Yes.
If the world started to end, I would go buy a yacht on Craigslist. I would go out and do that one. So it's probably not going to end anymore.
We'll end on that. So to conclude, prophecy is silly. Predicting the end date of the world is silly. Our interpretation of the Mayans is silly. We've kind of messed up a little bit here when it comes to our end of the world predictions. It's an awesome idea. It's cool to think about. It provides great television, but is it really impacting our society in a positive way? I don't think so. So thank you all for your time.